welcome to the crypto jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here on the channel I try to keep crypto simple. We look at the price in the context of volume. This is your source of no nonsense crypto fundamental and technical analysis. So if you're new here, I want to invite you to hit the subscribe button or follow me along on Twitch. So let's talk about play to earn. A lot of people really hyped about the Metaverse. A lot of people really hyped about play to earn and NFT gaming as a whole. So I want to take a look at some of the top projects inside of the NFT gaming space, look at them from a technical point of view, as well as lean on some of the fundamentals and talk about the profitability potential of some of these projects. So before we get into that, let's do our general market update. I want to take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. Taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily, just got our daily candle close. We are struggling to prove to the market whether we are bullish or bearish. We are at an inflection point, and this is where things can be quite choppy, quite dicey, and it's hard to get a conviction one way or the other. Are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? Is the question that's on everybody's minds right now, and we don't have an answer. So we're, there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. There's a lot of investors trying to decide if we have a continuation of this market cycle or if we need to go into a longer term accumulation period. When we look at the on-chain data, we can see accumulation, but that accumulation and those fundamental drivers are certainly not showing up in the short-term price action. So what can we see from a technical point of view? Well, from a technical point of view, we are sitting on top of the 200 period moving average. This is kind of a key level for a lot of people to determine, are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? So we're sitting on top of that 200 period moving average. We are also sitting on some other significant moving averages. Here in the white, we have the 30 or the monthly moving average. Here in the green, we have the 6-month or the 180-day moving average. And then this wave right here represents the yearly price moving average. So a lot of confluence on the 6-month and the yearly, currently holding as support. This traditionally, historically, has kind of shown health in terms of a bull market. When we're underwater, meaning that the price is underneath the yearly average. It's usually a very tumultuous time with a lot of indecision and a lot of bearishness, bearish sentiment. So when you're under there, expect volatility and not a lot of downside momentum. But as soon as you break above the yearly average, get above the 6-month and even the monthly averages, you can see that you can have a bull market condition in that area. So right now, we are above the yearly average. We are above the 6-month average. And we are testing this area, very important area right here that we are in. Lots of confluence, not only on those 3 significant timeframes, but on the 200 as well. So drifting below here in the short term. So probably a lot of people, getting uncomfortable with the price action that we have. Again, from a structural point of view, if we take a look at the weekly, we have not closed a lower low on the weekly. We can maintain this structure as bullish. This is an ascending triangle formation. Ascending triangles in crypto are bullish, so you can see the ascending formation of this kind of consolidation as it stands right now. This is a bullish consolidation. You just kind of gotta let it do its thing. We can tick down a little bit further as long as we don't close below $43,100, $43,200. I personally am not going to be freaking out. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Similar thing, what we're seeing on Ethereum, we're above the yearly average, we're above the 6-month average, currently below the monthly average, but we are overall in this consolidation, this ascending triangle. Ascending triangles in crypto are very bullish. We can see this ascending triangle consolidation. An ascending triangle is really bullish because what is it? It's establishing a clear resistance point, and it's creating a line where the buyers are getting more aggressive. So they're not waiting to get to those lower levels. They'll take the price at a higher price. They'll take the price at a higher price. They'll take the price at a higher price, at a higher low rather, until you finally break. You get that squeeze that resolves in a break of that well-defined macro resistance. So we're seeing that formation take place. It's looking really good despite what you're hearing in the market sentiment, despite what you're hearing in the global economic conditions. The news is noise and the charts are truth. So learn to interpret the charts, and you can really learn to ignore a lot of things most of the market, most of the herd, as they're referred to, lean for advice on the fundamentals of news-driven stories, news-driven economics, and it's just not where smart money plays. Smart money knows how to read the charts, they know how to read supply and demand, and they can look at the macro and decide what the news narrative is going to be spun based on the price. The price moves the news does not move the price, in my opinion. So let's take a look, catching up with chat here. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Just Tree Hugger. Good morning, Yo-Yo. When Baloo the Bull. I've been Baloo the Bull for a while, but you know, a bull, they charge forwards regardless of anything, and they're just bullish all the time. The bears survived the winter, and I am a crypto winter survivor, and so I'm gonna be Baloo the Bear. Agua. Hello, Blue. Thanks for the stream. You're very welcome. Tushy, good to see you in here. They wouldn't let down Ecuador, would they? Hello, Renan Borg. Nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, Ecuador. They wouldn't let down Ecuador. All right, so let's talk about some of the Metaverse stuff. Let's talk about some of the play-to-earn cryptocurrencies that are out there. We're going to start with the king. We're going to start with the one that everybody is really, you know, we're going to start with the one that started play to earn, and that's Axie Infinity. Love it, hate it, feel like you didn't make it. It is what it is. It's a very robust economy. It's a very robust NFT marketplace. It is, you know, if Bitcoin controls the crypto market, in my opinion, Axie Infinity controls the gaming market. So if Axie is doing poorly, expect the rest of the gaming to do poorly as well, at least as it stands right now. And what we're looking here at the AXS token is we're looking at a localized distribution that is coming back down into my general area of demand here in the buy zone between $80 to $60. So anywhere between 80 to 60 bucks would be a good local zone to watch for reversal here on Axie Infinity. Axie has had a ton of markup already, but it has the staking program with some pretty high yields right now. So there's a lot of pressure to keep people into the positions through staking. Staking is kind of a nice way to mitigate some of the selling pressure, and the AXS token is doing that. So I'd be watching for how price handles this general area between $60 to $80. We kind of need to re-incentivize the breeding. For those who don't really know how Axie Infinity works, is the way that the SLP token is minted is through gameplay, and the way the Axies are created is through breeding and using those SLP tokens. So as it stands right now, you know, you do require one AXS token to breed, and it's getting quite expensive to breed. That has not changed for a while, and it's probably why we're seeing some stagnation in the economy overall. If we take a look at the SLP price, SLP is relentlessly to the downside. You have to assume that there's going to be more and more until we can start breaking above some of these moving averages, and still we can start breaking above some of these highs, which are becoming a hard reach target as it stands right now. We need to get back above 10 cents before we could even begin to repair the trend. It's not looking good for SLP. There is still way too much being minted and not enough being burned. There are not enough people breeding Axies, and there are way too many people playing the game. So we have a ton of selling pressure going to the SLP token. If we take a look at the Axie stats, we have a decline overall. There's less minting taking place, so there's less and less players playing. We are seeing some of the players drop off. I've experienced that as a scholar manager, watching some of my players drop off as the profitability becomes not what it used to be. But this is good because it's going to kind of get us closer to the ratio that we want to for true expansion of value in the ecosystem. And that's when we are burning more SLP than we're minting. When we're burning more SLP than we're minting, we can watch the prices go up. So until that happens, more down. But I feel like we're getting close to the floor. We'll spend some time on the floor, maybe around this 2 cents to 3 cents to 4 cents range. I would not be surprised to see us at a penny, but it is what it is. The fundamentals are still really strong. There's a lot of development going into the Axie Infinity game. There's going to be battles v2. There's going to be a lot of reshuffling and a lot of new demand going into that ecosystem. So I'm sure that that will drive up the price of SLP as well. So hang in there, everybody. Hang in there. I'm right there with you as far as Axie Infinity is concerned. Let's take a look at Atlas. Star Atlas is a very hyped game. It's got a beautiful trailer if you haven't seen it. But it's been trading sideways, doing a whole lot of nothing for a whole lot of time. So, you know, this doesn't really come as a shock, if I'm being completely honest. There's no real reason to own Atlas tokens. There's nothing that you can do with Atlas tokens. You can't stake them. They're not part of the NFT economy. There's literally nothing that they do outside of, you know, preparation of whatever they will do when the game is released. But the game is nowhere to be seen. It's really far off. If you go to if you go to the Star Atlas website, it's just a whole lot of nothing. Honestly, just more slick graphics. Somebody had a really, you know, they clearly spent a lot of money on the trailer. Trailers mean nothing. There's fuck all for a game. There's absolutely nothing going on. There's a marketplace here. The marketplace, the NFTs are denominated in USDC, so you can't use the Star Atlas tokens there. Pure speculation, far too speculative for my blood. So as far as play to earn profitability, which one is more profitable? Axie. You can't make money with Star Atlas, so Axie is more profitable. We can take a look at Illuvium. Again, from a TA point of view, we're sideways, and we'll be sideways for a long time. I would expect this to probably range back down to 7 cents, and then maybe go back up to 20 cents, but we're going to be sideways until we're not. How's that for TA? But yeah, until we can get a clear break above 20 cents and stay above that level, stay above the all-time high, stay above the trading range, it's really nothing to get excited about here. I think it's miraculous that we're even staying sideways with all of the speculators that piled into this one without having to use the tokens for anything. But there you go. Taking a look at Illuvium, on the other hand, this is also a useless NFT gaming project, but the difference here is Illuvium's price goes up. I would attribute that to the staking. There are staking rewards, so at least there is an incentive. There is a driver of demand for the Illuvium token. It has absolutely nothing to do with the game itself. It has nothing to do with what you would be earning in the game. It strictly has to do with the fact that people are receiving a yield. So because they're receiving a yield, there's demand for the underlying token. We can see that here. There are several Illuvium staking pools. The staking rewards, I guess I gotta connect. I'll connect with a test wallet on ETH. Let's go with my test account. Whenever you're connecting for the first time to something new, always use a test account. Don't connect with any new application before first doing some light stuff with a test account. So all right, I'm connected. Are you going to show me the rewards? Let's take a look at the rewards here on Illuvium. 4 pools, and it looks like they have a locking mechanism here. So the APY for the providing liquidity on Sushi gives you a 393% annual percentage yield in the Illuvium tokens. So that's a big driver of demand right there. And that's the difference between a token that does something like, you know, staking. It isn't, again, nothing to do with gaming, but it's doing something, versus a token that does absolutely nothing like Star Atlas. So it's all about that demand. Analyze the demand and you will be successful. All right. Now, Metaverse overall, if you are wanting to gain exposure, but you just don't know which game to be involved with, what you can do is you can actually purchase this token called the MVI. The MVI, which is the Metaverse Index token. It's a representation of all of the top Metaverse projects on the Ethereum network. So you can gain broad exposure to a basket of assets by using this one. This one's in an uptrend. This is on the Ethereum pair, so it's in an uptrend overall. We're trying to hold support on top of this area right here. So, you know, as it stands right now, the whole market, it doesn't matter what asset you're looking at, we're at an inflection point. So until we get permission by Big Daddy Biddy, we're not going to get that permission to move to higher levels. So until we can prove support here on Bitcoin, prove that this consolidation in price is squeezing to the upside and get some more bullish price action, a lot of these are going to show you we have potential for downside and we have potential for upside. We're at an inflection. It's really hard to pick a side. When in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, sit it out. It's up to you. So the NVI, really good way for you to gain some broad exposure to the entire metaverse sector as it stands on Ethereum. Okay, so that's pretty much all that I had for content that I was looking at. Axie, Star Atlas, Illuvium, we are good to go. All right, so another project that I've been keeping my eye on as far as the Metaverse, no, not the Metaverse, the Metaverse. Cheers, I think I'll stick to AXS and MVI. Yeah, AXS is a good one. You know, when we look at AXS, it's staked. I mean, we're at an inflection. So what, as long as we don't break below here, there's nothing to be really worried about, but we are on a very large extension. So that does need to be considered for anybody who's looking at new positions, brand new to crypto, brand new positions, and you're looking to invest. You're actually looking to open positions at one of the more dangerous points in the market to be looking to come in fresh. We don't have a decision. We are either at some sort of market cycle top, we are up at some resistance at a top on a retracement, where we could begin to break down to much lower levels, or we're proving support and we're getting ready to break out. If you're brand new to crypto and you're looking for investments right now, you do need to proceed with a lot of caution, and I would urge you to not go all in all at once. And I would also encourage you to have some sort of dry powder, some sort of cash reserve on the side to hedge the volatility and be prepared for dip buying. Waiting for an entry in AXS, patience. Okay, first time chat from the viewer Pro37. What is the number you would say we enter a bear market? In terms of Bitcoin, it would be a weekly candle close. It's not just a price, because we can dip below my target. We can wick all the way down, scare the shit out of everybody down to 30K, get bought back in, and we're still not in a bear market. So it has nothing to do with a specific price, because wicks will hit price all the time. What it has to do with is a structure of a high time frame candle close that is breaking the structure. So when we look at the structure here, we have a low, we have a higher low, and we're working on yet again another higher low on the weekly time frame. On that time frame, we also have a high and we have a higher high. So we have an uptrend. We have an uptrend on the high time frames. So what would begin to invalidate that is a trend reversal, meaning we would have our first lower low, which we do not have yet. So if we close a candle on the weekly below a 43,200, 43.2 on the weekly close, now we need to entertain the idea of a bear market. And I use the word bear market kind of loosely, because from a purely fundamental point of view, both in terms of user adoption, network development, and on-chain behavior, meaning the behavior of the wallets in spot markets, this is not a blow off top. This is not an end of cycle look. We, in my opinion, are still in a bull market. We are in an accumulation. We are in a reaccumulation on the weekly. I don't think we're in a bear market, but if you're going to ask me what it looks like to see a possibility of a lack of momentum, that's what it would look like. And I honestly don't think that it would be a multi-year bear market. I think it'll just be a much longer, drawn-out accumulation period where we do something like this for several months, up to even a year. But again, I will entertain these more bearish and less, you know, moon boy ideas when I have a reason to do so. And as it stands right now, I don't. So I'm still bullish until proven otherwise. Okay, we'll take a look at a few other market indicators. Let's quickly go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin dominance. BTC.D, just a check up on Bitcoin dominance. Get rid of these indicators. Don't need that. So we are rallying as we saw. You know, I anticipated this in the last stream that we would probably bounce off of this level. We've been bouncing off of this level every time we hit it. So we bounced here, hit 40%, bounced, hit 40%, bounced, hit nearly 40% and bounced. The real magic here is when we get below, we don't bounce. If we don't bounce and start clearing 40%, it's going to be epic, 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 epic. We'd be looking at an altcoin season very similar to this sort of area that we saw back here, and this was epic. If you were in altcoins at any point during this run, you're a very happy camper. Very happy camper. This is where a lot of the gains were made. So we're looking for that kind of environment to occur again. And as it stands right now, we're just trading sideways. We're in a consolidation. So until we can break below that 40, it's just more sideways. With an emphasis on liquidity going to Bitcoin in the current at the current moment. So I'd be looking somewhere around here. So around 44%, get another lower high. That might convince us that we're ready for an altcoin season. But really, you know, we can speculate all we want. Until we start seeing candles close below the 40, we're just going to trade sideways. We're going to be in reaccumulation. And let's go ahead and take a look at total. Taking a look at total market cap, kind of fallen outside of the channel. Been watching this channel for a while. That's the thing about ascending channels, is they can become invalidated, and now what do you do? But the bull market band is still somewhat intact. I'm not ready to abandon this just yet. So as it stands right now, we're do or die. We really need to start closing some candles outside of this. Otherwise, we are going to break below. We are going to go into a longer term reaccumulation. We are going to be in a multi-month holding pattern. So I do want to see some bullish price action kind of, you know, get going here. And let's see, we'd be looking for a break above here, get some price action going above that, break back above our significant support / resistance, flip right at $2.4 trillion. 2.4 trillion is the place to be, currently sitting at 2 trillion. So we want to get that back above 2.4 trillion, and then we can be ready to go again. What are your thoughts on Gods Unchained? They will have a stake mechanism for the token. If they're going to have a stake mechanism for the token, then their token will have an intrinsic amount of demand outside of the playability of the game. Gods Unchained's good. I haven't personally played it, but they have a game, and the rewards are actually decent. I don't have hands-on with the game, but there's a lot of hype in a lot of the projects that make no sense. So Illuvium, Star Atlas, why is everybody so hyped about that? You can't even do anything. Whereas Gods Unchained has a game, it works. It's actually, well designed, interactive, good amount of strategy, kind of like Magic the Gathering, with a decent ROI. So I think it's a good one. Let's take a look at the Gods chart. Extremely volatile. Extremely volatile. Let's find an older chart if there is one. Come on, you gotta have something better. Who's been holding this shit coin? I guess it was all launched at the same time. So no trend from a TA point of view. It's just flat. Come on, we gotta have something. Is there a wrapped Ethereum pair? There we go. Wrapped Ethereum. Okay, it hasn't gone. There's a product there. There's a product. Out of everything that we've discussed today, this game, there's a token that you can earn. It has a liquid marketplace. It's in a much better place than a lot of the other play to earn tokens. Oh, that's the inverse chart. Anyways, FTX has the longest one. Yeah, there's no trend. There's no trend. So until there's a trend, we got nothing to work with. This can equally crash down to 0 as it can do 100x. There is no trend to speak of, which is kind of good. So hear me out here. Games are very hard to get in on appropriately because there's so much YouTube hype right now. Everybody's largest source of information for this stuff is still YouTube. By the time a YouTuber tells you about a play to earn video game, in most circumstances, it's too late. Not a lot of people are talking about God Unchained. Like there's a community, there's active involvement in it, but it's not YouTube hype material. It's not clickbait material. People won't just automatically click on a Gods Unchained video because it has some sort of, branding, recognizable branding. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing because the play to earn, it takes time to properly analyze the demand of those projects. And when they get hyped, they get overvalued too quickly and you can't analyze them properly. You need to play the game. You need to see how the ROI is after a month. You need to see how liquid the marketplace is. Can you sell stuff? Can you buy stuff effectively? There's a lot of things that go into assessing the value of a play to earn game, and assessing the value takes time. So I like that not a lot of people are talking about Gods Unchained, and I think it's probably one that deserves a little bit more attention, and it might be one that I get hands on with and see exactly how profitable it is, because Axie was very good to me, and we can see what happens with Gods Unchained. Was rewarded with a good amount of their tokens for being a retro player. I've been playing it since January 2021. Well done. Yeah, I heard that airdrop was actually pretty substantial depending on how many wallets you had, and I didn't know exactly what how they denominated who got what, but I had somebody in the group, might even be you, I don't know, who got airdropped a good amount of tokens, and kudos to you. Well done. Those airdrops can be pretty profitable, and mostly the ones that are profitable are the ones that nobody sees coming. Let's take a look at Polkadot. Polkadot still in its downtrend. Still in its downtrend. How low can it go? Take a look at the fib retracement. Yeah, so it's already in a kind of unhealthy territory as far as like a typical retracement. And what this means is that we're not really in a strong trend just yet. We're still kind of battling an accumulation. Once you enter markup and you have a strong trending environment, you can use the retracements and get more a higher probability outcome as far as picking like, oh, we'll bounce at the 5, we'll bounce at the 0.618. But until we have that trending environment, we don't have a ton of follow through. So I'd be looking for this trend line to break. Look for a break above that. We can also correlate that with our custom indicator, the alphanumerics. So when the alphanumerics flashes bullish, that will be the next setup. If you do not have access to the alphanumerics indicator and want access to the alphanumerics indicator, join VIP. If you don't have an FTX account, you can get in VIP for a month for free, and we'll set you up with the alphanumerics indicator. On Polkadot, the last time we flashed a bull signal, if you took the bull and exited on the bear, you made 100%, 90.7%. And then the next time we flashed bull and then went to bear, you got 40%. So it's pretty good for the short to medium term. It's a good momentum indicator. I have not been using it recently with my kind of spot portfolio, but if you're going to trade high liquidity assets, Dot is fairly liquid, but absolutely a golden indicator for Bitcoin, fabulous indicator for ETH. Any of those ones where you're going to be taking those shorter term possible leverage trades. This is a fantastic indicator. Links below for more information. Looking for entry, there's no entry signal just yet. If you were accumulating DOT, our indicator is showing us that we are very oversold, giving you kind of these green diamonds, showing you a lot of value, these green diamond flashes. If you're in leveraged markets, don't use those until we're trending. But if you're a spot accumulator, we're in a good spot to continue to accumulate. Doesn't mean that we won't go to lower levels. We could still be looking at a $20 Polkadot, but as far as the technicals here, we're showing that we're very oversold, and this is kind of in the value zone. If you are a value investor, we're oversold. People are selling too much. You should be buying some more. All right, how much time? That's pretty much it. That's all I got. All right, so that is all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If there are any projects you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.